Let me tell you about the wildest thing I ever saw in my neighborhood. There was a loud noise, and I looked over the fence. That's where I saw her, Mrs. Ada, fists clenched, chasing her husband, Mr. Chike, around the compound like he was some mischievous child, and the man was screaming for help. Now, Mr. Chike was no small man. He was tall and broad shouldered, the type you'd expect to stand his ground. But there he was, dodging and ducking like his life depended on it. And Mrs. Ada, she wasn't playing around. She was a short, stocky woman, built like she could lift sack of yams with one hand. And she looked like she was about to knock the daylight out of him. So here is the backstory. Mrs. Ada and Mrs. Chike had been married for almost 10 years. They were one of those couples who kept to themselves mostly, but everyone knew Mrs. Ada ran the household. It was just the way things were. They had 3 kids, all polite and well behaved, and Mr. Chike himself was always respectful and cheerful. But rumor had it he wasn't the bravest man around his wife. One evening, as we sat outside our houses gossiping, someone finally asked, "Why does Mr. Chike never talk back at his wife?" An elderly woman, Mama Nkichi, shook her head. "Ah, you young ones don't know anything. Mr. Chike is afraid of his wife. That woman is strong." Of course, none of us believed her. Then one day, I actually witnessed it. I was on my way back from the market, passing by the house, and I heard shouting. Then, boom! I heard a bang as Mr. Chike practically flew out of the door, clutching his arm. Now, I wasn't planning on sticking around, but curiosity got the better of me, and I crouched down near their gate to peek. There she was, standing like a warrior, arms crossed, while he whimpered on the floor. The crazy part? She wasn't even angry. She just looked disappointed. Apparently, Mr. Chike had lied about using some money for groceries, and instead he spent it on a new pair of shoes he hid from her. Miss Ada found the shoes, and well, let's just say she had her own way of handling dishonesty. After that incident, word spread fast around the neighborhood. People laughed about it, but there was also this weird kind of respect. It wasn't that Mrs. Ada was a bully. She was actually quite friendly, but she believed that honesty was non-negotiable, and she held Mr. Chike to the same standard. To her, lying about money was a betrayal of trust. Now, to be clear, it's not like she beat him up every day. It was more about the fear she inspired. She had this look she would give him, and he would immediately fall in line, like a child caught stealing candy. But Mr. Chike, well, he'd occasionally test his luck, and sometimes that resulted in the neighbors witnessing yet another memorable scene. One day, a neighbor dared to ask her about it. "Ada, why do you treat your husband like that? Aren't you worried people would think badly of you?" She smiled and replied, "Chike is my husband, not my child. But if he acts like a child, then I will treat him like one." And that was that. No more questions asked. A couple of months later, Mr. Chike tried something different. He snuck out early in the morning and spent the entire day with his friends, playing card games and gossiping. By the time he returned, it was way past midnight, and he thought he could tiptoe in without her noticing. Ha! Big mistake. Just as he closed the door, she turned on the lights, standing there in her nightgown, with a rolling pin in her hand. Mrs. Ada looked at him and said, "Where were you, my dear husband?" He mumbled something about a work emergency. She didn't say a word. She just walked up to him, took a deep breath, and smacked the rolling pin against her other hand. Everyone in the neighborhood heard his scream that night. The next day, as Mr. Chike limped around the market, people asked him if he was okay. He chuckled nervously. "Ah, it's nothing. I tripped." No one believed him, of course, but no one dared to laugh in his face either. After all, who wanted to get on the wrong side of Mrs. Ada? Over time, Mr. Chike became the most punctual man in town. He was always home by dusk, always paid the bills on time, and never touched the household funds without her permission. Some people thought he was foolish, to live in fear of his wife. But others, mostly women, whispered that maybe Miss Sada was onto something. After all, Mr. Chike was a changed man. He was more attentive to his family, more responsible, and even more affectionate. The kids were happier, and despite the occasional drama, their marriage seemed stronger. But the funniest part, one day, Miss Sada decided to share her secret with a few other women in the neighborhood. She called it love with discipline. She didn't mean for them to start chasing their husbands around with rolling pins, but she said a good marriage is about respect, and sometimes respect needs a little reinforcement. Whether you agree with her method or not, there is no denying one thing. She made her point, and to this day, Mr. Chike hasn't dared to cross her again.